Homesick by Chris Mendham. Read by Steve Parker. The day dawned, wrapped in a post-Christmas malaise as Zack returned to his hometown. Bunting drooped like soiled underwear on tatty string, and every other fairy light in the town had blown. As he turned off Main Street, Zack's yellow Volvo skidded, bounced once, then twice, the second time jumping up onto the curb, the bumper clipping the lamppost before dropping back down onto the road, dislodging rust from the wheel arches. As he picked his stomach up off the floor, someone shouted at him, the words muffled.
Hey!
Swinging round in his seat, Zack watched as a round man in his 60s, a large handkerchief over his mouth, jabbed a finger at the rear end of the car. Sighing, Zack unbuckled his seatbelt, opened the door and climbed out, stepping lightly to avoid the worst of the dark red puddle inexplicably gathering around his car. Sighing again, he prepared himself for a confrontation. However, why the man might be upset currently eluded him. The round man spoke muffled words again. "I'm sorry," said Zack, frowning, cocking an ear. Lowering his handkerchief, the round man growled, "You can't park there." "Yeah," laughed Zack. "My battery died and then I lost control or something. Don't know cars." "Still can't park there." Taking a deep breath, Zack looked to the far end of Main Street. "Is Havant's Motors still in business?" "No." "Grady's?" "It's closed." "Because it's Sunday?" "No." Zack locked eyes with the man's sparking memory. Of late, he'd not had many of those. He needed to see a doctor, get some pills or a good night's sleep or something. "Mr. Makepeace?" said Zack. "I'm Zack Furnish. I was friends with Tom. Well, I say friends, we were more like..." Dense smog smothered the memory. Clearing his throat, Zack continued. "Anyway, how are you, sir?" Zack held out his hand. The round man ignored it. "I've been away. At college. It's been good. Well, tough. Really tough. As they say, if it was easy, everyone would do it." An involuntary laugh burst out and lay dying on the road. The round man glared at the place where the laugh landed. "Anyway, my folks live about 5 miles out of town. No signal." Zack waved his mobile in the air. "So I gotta walk to their place. I'll be back with Dad, and I'll get it moved." "You can't park there." "I know I can't." "You can't park there." Ducking into the car, Zack disguised profanities, retrieving his bag. "I'll get it towed," said Mr. Makepeace, as he turned and waddled back up his driveway. Zack called after him. "Say hi to Tom for me. Maybe we can... where's the car going?" But Mr. Makepeace had vanished. The smog in his head descended again, and Zack found himself almost at his parents' house before it cleared. Anger, confusion, and panic gripped him. He sprinted back to his car that he knew would not be there anymore, and no matter how hard he banged on Mr. Makepeace's door, he would not open it. Sure enough, his car was gone. However, circled around where his car had been, like a wagon train, were 2 cop cars, an ambulance, and a lot of police tape. The police were distracted, calling for backup, hands nervously fingering guns. The medics hung back, sucking on cigarettes. Zack thought about asking a cop where he might find his Volvo, but they all seemed so preoccupied, he didn't want to bother them with something so trivial as his car. He stood by the curb, near the police tape, and waited, scrubbing his hands through his close-cropped hair. Then he spotted someone he knew. "Tom," he said, "what are you doing lying in all that red stuff?" Tom did not answer. One of the medics screamed, "That's him!" Zack looked around and saw no one else except the emergency services. The police swayed in a trance. The medic screamed, "Do something!" jerked them out of their fear. Police charged, guns drawn. Hands grabbed Zach and pushed him into the grass and mud. Others wrenched his arms behind his back and cuffed his wrists, all the time screaming, "Don't move! Don't move!" Excitement getting the better of them. Understandable. This was the first time in over 100 years that the town had had to deal with something like this. A mad 45 seconds later, calm descended as if the police had used up all the energy. As Zach was pulled to his feet, a police officer with 2-day-old coffee breath asked him, "Why'd you do it, son?" Zach had no answers. He didn't understand the question. The last few days, months, years were hazy. A fog had settled over his life, sometimes thick, sometimes thin. That was why he'd left, wasn't it? The day Tom had something. That was also when the anger started. However, he was sure it wasn't connected. Was it connected? Sure, anger grew over time, but isn't everyone angry about something these days? Despite that, Zach couldn't understand why they'd towed his car but left Tom in the road. Looking back, Zach saw him, bobbing like an apple. Who knew one man could have so much blood in him? Turning, he followed red tire marks from Tom's crushed back to the curb and up Main Street. They must have taken his car to Havant's. But isn't it closed down? Before he could ponder anymore, he saw his dad kneeling on the sidewalk, his face ashen, eyes full of loss and hopelessness. Seeing his dad's face cleared the fog, and the memories rushed in. That was when Zach started to scream, and he didn't stop for the rest of his life. On the 5th day after his arrest, Zach Furnish broke loose from his guards and ran to the roof of the 5-story high police station, flapping his arms, they said, like an eagle, they said. Fortunately, before he jumped, they shot him. Dead.